Electro-Anarchy.
Hello everyone. Thought that I might do a video because of all the trouble that I had with this orange Pi. Um, it's it's been kind of a challenge here, but I thought maybe I'd get on here and shoot a video for anybody who, was doing the hacker boxes and was coming across some of these troubles. And just kind of share what I've learned so far and kind of show what I did to get this thing up and running and to start being able to do some stuff. Number one, the card that came with this. I don't know if how many people got these cards and how many people got different ones. From what I read, they were all pretty much the same here. But I suspect that this is a fake card. This is number one. This is not a Class 10 card. If it is, it's a really bad, poor quality Class 10 because it's really, really slow. The other thing is these little stickers here on the back. I've gotten several fake cards in the past from different sources, and they all seem to have these goofy stickers. This one is kind of a holographic. You can see here how it changes colors and stuff. It looks all official, whatnot, but it's truly not official. This one I loaded up, I tried it. It took forever to boot this thing, and then half the times when it booted it was incorrect and wrong, and it's a problem. Now I haven't really dug too much because I got frustrated with this and I just chunked it, and I went with a standard, a better Class 10. This one's a 32 gig Class 10, and then I tried this card here, this 8 gig card that came from the hacker boxes before. This is a good card. It has good speeds to it. This has got good speeds, but I'm also I have plenty of other ones too. But when you get the right card for this, it does work a lot better. The other thing too is there is the retro Pi or retro orange pack here. So anyway, it's a retro gaming stuff. Do not use that distribution. Basically, the only one that I found that works on this and works everything with the Wi-Fi, everything out of the box, is going to be your standard Jessie Debian distribution that's made for this. So we'll go over what all we got here. Number one, you're going to need the board. You're going to need a USB hub of some sort. Now this one's not a powered hub, but I'm not really running anything real major off of it, so it seems to be fine. If you're running more stuff, especially if you're desperate and you go to try to use one of these, which by the way I tried, did not work, you will need a powered hub. This thing seems to use tons of power, and you're definitely going to have to use a 2 amp or better power supply, such as this one here. This one is an Asus, and it's a 2 amp, 5 volts, 2 amp. It seems to run it okay. I haven't had any power issues, but I was reading where a lot of people were having power issues with the cheap USB. Even if it does say that it does 2 amps, a lot of times they're not putting out 2 amps. Another thing you'll need to set it up, you'll need a USB mouse, your keyboard, and your good old controller that came in the kit. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get over on the computer, and I'll show you what to download and how to get the SD card set up for this thing. Okay, here we are back, and forgive me for not doing the screenshots, but recording my screen. I'm just doing this on the fly right now, so I figured I'd just do it with a camera. First thing to note, Retro Orange Pi. Do not use this distribution. There's going to be some changes coming, hopefully before too long, that will make it work correctly, but they're using an older version of the kernel that does not have the correct Wi-Fi drivers. Also, it doesn't run the system at quite the right speed. So there's a few little things. I mean, this is a nice little distribution if you're doing retro games or anything like that, but the truth is you don't have to have this. So the best thing is to stay away from this one. This gave me all kinds of fits. I wasted hours on this. just don't do it. What you're going to need to do is you're going to have to you look up Orange Pi Lite, the Armbian edition, ARMBIAN. And what you're going to do is you want to go to your Armbian website here, Orange Pi Lite. This is what was in the box. And then you're going to select Jessie Desktop. Okay, what this is a special distribution based upon Debian Jessie. And this does have your GUI, your desktop. Now, if you wanted to just run, if you're going to run it headless, you can, pull up your Jessie server, or you can do your Xenial, which is going to be Ubuntu. That's what it's based on. So what you do is you just click on your Jessie desktop, and it's going to bring you to here, and it's going to start downloading. It's going to start downloading. Now, I've already downloaded this, so I'm going to cancel this. But you're going to want to download this. Now, this is going to be zipped. So what you're going to want to do is you want to go over to your downloads, and you're going to pull up your Armbian 5.14 Orange Pi Lite Debian Jessie 3.4112 desktop 7Z. Now you're going to want to unzip that, and whatever your distribution uses. Mine, I just extract here and be done. And then you're going to end up with a folder like this. Go into that folder, and here is your raw file. Now, if you're running Windows, you're going to need to get, there's a couple different things for burning, raw files onto an SD card. Now, if you have Linux, like I do, what you're going to want to do is you want to come to your terminal, okay, and you're going to want to go to your downloads folder, and wherever this file is, see, I'm already here into my folder and everything, and then you hit dir, and you see if it's here. Here it is right here, .raw file. Then what you're going to want to do, you're going to make sure that the card that you're going to write, okay, you're going to want to make sure your SD card is loaded, and then you want to verify your location. So in Linux, I'm going to go over and use gparted to verify the location that I'm going to be writing to. Okay, so I'm going to pull down the list here, and 29.72 gigs, which is D, which is where it should be. So we're going to be writing to device SDD. Okay, so down here, okay, we're gonna write sudo dd if equals in your file Armbian 514. Basically, you can just type AR, hit shift, and it should complete this. Then you're going to want to do of equal your device SDD, and then you're going to want to put at the end of this BS equals 10240. This will space it out correctly for your SD card. Okay, this will take a little while, especially if you're using the card that came with it. This is going to take a long time because that card is a very slow card. This card's a much faster card, so all you have to do once you get this typed in and it's correct, hit enter. It'll ask you for your password, and it will just look like it doesn't do anything, but it just sit there. If you watch your light on your access to your SD card, you'll see it start moving and doing things. Now just leave it sitting here until this pops back up and goes back to your command prompt, and at that point, make sure your SD card completes, pull it out, slip it back in, verify files, and then you're good to go. Okay, I wanted to show you here for the desktop. You can see that we copied over 3 gigs, and it took 351.362 seconds at 8.6 megs per second. The original card that came with the kit was only getting about 2.3 megs per second copy speed. So a significant difference between the two cards, and this is for the desktop There's two different ones, and I've done both, where you have the regular, which is up here. Up here have the regular Jessie 3.4.112, and then the 3.4.112 underscore desktop, which we're going to be doing the desktop right now. Okay, now we're back. First thing we're going to want to do, we're going to put the card we just prepped, put it in, make sure it's fully seated. Going to hook up our USB hub. Both of these are USB 2.0s, so it doesn't really matter which one. Tried them both, there was no difference. Okay, plug that in. Plug this into the hub. Okay, hook the mouse up. And we're going to hook the keyboard up. That's all we need for our basic setup. Aside from the HDMI cable here. Okay, now we're all set up to boot this thing. Now, one thing I noticed, there's a little green light over here, and I noticed when I first tried this off of the card that came with this, I was waiting literally 5 minutes for that green light to come on. And I know they said it takes a while, and yes, it does take a little while, but that was an extreme amount of time, in my opinion, for this thing to start up. This is how it should be. Fresh card, powered up. Now just watch how long it takes for that green light to come up. There we go. So now we have a green light, and we should start seeing something on screen. There we go. Push this camera a little bit here. Get it in a better spot. There we go. Okay, so now we are in the Orange Pi login. Now, see how it says here, please be patient, do not interrupt. Right now, yeah, it has login, but just don't touch it. I made the mistake and started messing with it. I messed it up the first time. So just let it go. It's going to restart a couple times, or at least once, possibly twice, depending. I've had one restart 3 times. I don't know what the deal was, but the last couple times that I've tried this, it seems to have only been really just one time. So let it go through. It goes through. It restarts. The LED goes off. It goes through its reboot process. And I've noticed after the installation, there we go, green light. After everything is in and done, it doesn't take nearly as long to boot as the first few times. Okay, now we are ready to start logging in. So on this, when you get to this point, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to type in root. Okay, password's 1234. Okay, now you're going to have to you're going to create a new password. So you type in your old one, 234. Then you type in a new one, and the new password has to be more than just a few numbers. It has to be numbers and letters, and it needs to be more of a complex, otherwise it won't accept it. Okay. Now we're going to add a username for your standard user. And then you're going to add a password for that user. It can be a simple password. It doesn't have to be a complex password. right. Okay, now this is going to ask you for if you're running multiple units and you want to give them, put your name, give it a place, a room number, whatnot. You can do that here. I'm not going to do that. So your full name, I'm just hitting enter, room number, enter, work phone, enter, home phone, enter, other, enter, and then just say yes, correct, and move on. Now, if you want to change your display settings, here, just probably type in yes. Okay, and what you want to do is, like this example right here, we can run at, we're going to run at 50, which is going to be right here. So we're going to type in H3 DISP dash M 1080 P 50. Okay, and then we're going to we're just going to go here. Okay, so now at this point we should be able to reboot, and it should log us, take us into our graphical interface. Okay, now that we have a fully functional desktop, we're going to go up to these little two things up here that look like computer screens. One of the problems with this is it will detect networks, but for whatever reason, the network authentication does not work. It's a bug in this. Now the fix is to go over here into this little down arrow, go to Preferences, go to Advanced Settings, and go to your driver and choose the second none, which would be the very last one. Select that, click on OK, close it, go over, log out, and restart. Now that should fix the authentication problem. We shall see. Okay, now we've restarted and we're back to where we were. Okay, so we should go back over here, and it's already trying to connect to the network from before. May have to change that. Let's give it a second here. Let's see what happens. Okay, so our encryption is correct, everything's correct. So now, that looked like it worked. Yep, we are now connected. So we are now connected. It shows right down here, connected to, well, Silvernet Low, which was my network. It's at 95%. Have an IP address. So now let's go over here. Let's go to a browser. Let's choose Firefox. And let's see if we truly do have internet access. Definitely looks like we do. So let's go to YouTube, and it pulls up YouTube. Alright. Let's see if anything will work.
Furniture is the background of our lives, and I want to make it really beautiful. My impression of Menards is that they really have everything.
Okay, so it looks like we have a winner here. Okay, so the next step is going to be installing a few other things to make this useful. And so we'll do that here in just a second. Okay, now that we have a desktop that has you actually have a graphical interface, we have a internet connection, and everything is fully functional. I'm just going to end this video here because this seems to be the biggest problem most people are facing when it comes to these boards. So I hope this helps you guys. I hope this helps you get some, gets going. I'm going to do another video here. I'm going to install some things and do a little setup and get this to where it's got some cool stuff. But in any case, if you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. If not, give me a thumbs down. Tell me why. If not, great. Subscribe to my channel, and see you next time. Take care.